Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we are going to talk about Akanksha Chamola's performance in Dil Dhokha or Desire, and especially focus on her character, Malini. And honestly, after watching the series, one thing immediately stood out to me: her ability to keep the audience guessing. Because in romantic thrillers, one of the biggest challenges is maintaining mystery around a character. The audience should never fully know what the character is thinking. The audience should always remain curious. And I think Malini succeeds in creating exactly that feeling. Now let's talk about first impressions. Because first impressions are extremely important in web series. The audience decides very quickly whether a character is interesting or not. And from the moment Malini appears, there is curiosity around her. You want to understand her motivations, you want to understand her decisions, and you want to know how her story is going to unfold. That is a very important strength, because characters who create curiosity automatically become memorable. Now let's talk about Akanksha Chamola's screen presence is performing scenes. Screen presence is naturally attracting attention. And throughout the series, Akanksha manages to hold audience attention even during simple conversations. She doesn't need dramatic moments every few minutes. She doesn't need loud performances. Instead, she creates impact through controlled expressions and natural reactions. And honestly, that works very well for a thriller-oriented story. Now let's talk about expressions, because expressions are probably one of the strongest aspects of her performance. A character like Malini cannot reveal everything openly. There needs to be mystery, there needs to be emotional complexity. And because of that, facial expressions become extremely important. Sometimes a simple smile creates questions. Sometimes a reaction creates tension. Sometimes silence becomes more powerful than dialogue. And Akanksha uses those moments effectively. Now let's discuss the character itself, because Malini is not written as a straightforward character. She exists in a world filled with emotional conflicts, relationships, and difficult decisions. And that complexity makes the character more interesting. The audience is constantly trying to understand where her loyalties lie, what she truly wants, and what her next move might be. And honestly, that unpredictability. Now let's talk about emotional scenes. Because emotional scenes only work when audiences believe the character. And one thing I appreciated is that Akanksha never overplays those moments. Everything feels controlled. Everything feels believable. And because of that, the emotional impact becomes stronger. Sometimes doing less creates a bigger impact than doing more. And I think that is one of the biggest strengths of this performance. Now another thing worth discussing is chemistry with the other characters. Because Dil Dhokha or Desire depends heavily on relationships and interactions. The tension between characters drives the story forward. And throughout the series, Akanksha's interactions feel natural. The conversations feel believable. The emotional dynamics feel genuine, and that helps strengthen the overall narrative. Now let's talk about character consistency, because maintaining consistency throughout a thriller is not easy. Characters go through emotional ups and downs, situations change constantly, but the audience still needs to recognize the core personality. And throughout the series, Malini remains believable. Her actions feel connected to her character, her reactions make sense, and that consistency helps audiences stay invested. Now another thing I noticed is confidence, because confidence becomes visible in every scene. The way a character speaks, the way they react, the way they carry themselves. And throughout the series, Akansha looks completely comfortable.